Okay, folks, we're working on the under $100 water filter that includes fluoride and chlorine, which are two of the main things we want to get out. This is the filter I ordered from Cheaper Than Dirt. It's a large ceramic filter, very efficient, meets most of the worldwide standards that we're looking for. It has a 1/2 inch threaded tap on the bottom. Now this we will insert into the top 6.5 gallon food grade bucket. I have two of these. The bottom one has what they call the Italian spigot on the bottom. These are cheap, just a couple of dollars. The buckets are about 15 a piece. You can get them at your local beer or brewery shop. That's where I got these from. Thanks to Hogtown Ale Works here in Gainesville. Here we have a Berkey fluoride filter, directional flow. This I'm going to have to ream out and retap, as you can see. Wabby Cat is very interested. Nothing happens in this house that he's not extremely aware of. So this is our filter. They run about, trying to think, I got a pair of them, about 30-40 bucks a piece. Well worth it though. I've got a Berkey shower filter installed right now, and man, I'm telling you, my water feels great in the shower. It's a major noticeable improvement right off the start. Here we have, I've got already on the drill 1/2 inch drill bit you'll need to drill holes in the bucket lid. I've got a 29 64ths drill. This is a pre-drill for the tap. This widens it out just under size for the 1/2 inch tap, but then I'll go back with this tap and ream through it and put threads, so that hopefully, if this works properly, as I suspect, this will screw right into the fluoride filter and will make the connection right through the bottom of the top bucket and the top lid of the bottom bucket. So as I'm by myself, I'm going to have to shut the camera off here to do some of this stuff, but I'll check back in. As you can see, I've already drilled my 1/2 inch hole. This would be the lid for the bottom bucket. The top bucket sits on top of this, and hopefully my piece here will fit through, thusly coming from the underside of the top bucket naturally. And you'll see as we get this put together. So we'll check right back in a second. Continuing right along, this is the hole, 1/2 inch hole in the top bucket. And this will, as you can see, this is the top lid on the bottom bucket, and I'm going to have to push this down to make it tight because it's not the longest tap to hook into. So check back in just a second. Not even a second and we're back. Magic of the internet and YouTube. Okay, so I've drilled my guide hole here. This is the 29 64ths, and then I come back with my thread. This is a 1/2 inch tap. I should say tap is more accurately. This is my 1/2 inch tap. And I'll come back with that and thread my holes in here, and hopefully these two are going to fit together, and we'll be well on our way to having clean water. Back in a minute. Okay, right here I'm showing you there's my tap inside as I'm boring it out, and I just want to make a quick point. You back it out every so often to clear the debris out so it doesn't get caught up in the tap. So bore in a little ways, back it back out, clear the debris, the plastic debris out, and then continue, and you'll thread it all the way through. Okay folks, here I've bored it out, tapped it out, and it fits perfectly. As you can see, we screwed together. I've only to assemble the parts and make sure I have the gaskets on there so no water leaks through. But it'll filter through the large ceramic filter, down through the fluoride filter, and out the bottom of the tap, and then my cat right there can have some nice fresh water and stop poisoning him. So I'll be back in a minute as I assemble this stuff, and we'll continue along. Okay, I've had to make an adjustment because I can see that the shape of the 6.5 gallon food grade bucket top is was a concave, and it dips down. It's not going to make it. So I've done my hole here. I've screwed the fluoride filter to the regular ceramic filter, and we're just going to have to cut a larger hole in the top to the bottom bucket with the spigot on it. So I'm going to cut that hole out, and this should fit right on top, and that fluoride filter just hang right through and drip right into the reservoir bucket. So I'll get some kind of straight edge blade and cut that, and we'll be back in a moment. Labby Cat wanted me to make sure we covered all of this, and as you can see right here, here's my secondary fluoride filter. These aren't going to both go in line, although you could put them in line if you wanted to. And this is gravity fed. Gravity pulls the water through, no electronics needed whatsoever. We're going to cut this hole probably just within this indention here. Looks like a pretty righteous size. This should drop right down inside of that and dispense into our reservoir with the Italian spigot at the very bottom. So just showing you how you pretty much eyeball, size it up, take a nice sharp knife or blade, be careful not to cut yourself, wear gloves, whatever you need, and cut you out a nice round hole. Doesn't have to be perfect, just got to be enough that this will fit through it and the bucket will still rest on the outside of the rim. Okay, so we'll be back again. Over and out. Okay, we've got our hole cut. It's not the most perfect round one. I got a little bit off track on the back side, but whatever. Happens in life. Sometimes we get a little bit off track, and as long as you right your course and get back where you need to be, everything is fine. To have once been a criminal, in that there is no shame. In remaining a criminal, in that there is shame. That's what Malcolm X said. So we get a little bit off track, we get back on track, no big deal. Okay, here's our hole. Obviously, fits right into the bottom reservoir. We're going to put the pieces together now, and we're going to filter some water here in just a minute. I just want to show that I filled it above the ceramic filter because we want to flush through one time and make sure everything's cleaned out, cleared out, and what have you. It's going to take a while because it's a slow gravity feed, so we'll check back and see what's going on. But you want to cover the top of the filter and flush one round through before anything. By the way, I ended up using a more pointy, where is it at? Here it is. Pointy kitchen knife to cut that top with. So here we go, final. Right in through the top. Fill it up, we'll drain it through. Maybe you can hear that, folks. That's a drip of fresh, pure water. No fluoride. But it's worked its way through, and 6.5 gallons. I'll move this out in the garage. Come back in a minute when I got something I can taste test and see what it's like. Oh, by the way, while I'm here, you can use baking soda for your teeth, but here's Tom's anti-plaque and whitening fluoride-free toothpaste. And there's aluminum oxide in the toothpaste too, so you got fluoride and aluminum in the toothpaste, which we know in a recent publication from some scientific group, I can't remember, Federation of Scientists, whoever it was, they said it was aluminum combined with fluoride was 10 times as damaging as far as your IQ. So toothpaste is a bad thing. You're looking for something without fluoride in it, even if you got to use baking soda. I mean, do you want 10 to 30 points of IQ back or not? You know, are you willing to pay $100 to do it? That's the question. We'll be back in a minute with a taste test. Okay, so what we learned is we filter about a gallon in 15 to 20 minutes. The PF2 Berkeley filter actually inhibits the flow 15 to 20%, so look for that to slow what's already a fairly slow process down, but whatever it takes to get good non-fluoridated water. What I want to show you real quickly, and I'm just looking at this on Amazon to show you, I try to avoid purchasing from Amazon because it's a sweatshop mentality there. This is your 6.5 bottling bucket with the Italian spigot, which they're not the best. There are other versions of spigots that may cost a little more. Mine's already got a slow drip coming off the bottom of it, so I'm going to have to probably find a better type of spigot other than the Italian spigot. Let's look at filters. The one I ordered was from a place called Cheaper Than Dirt out of Texas. They do survival gear and ammunition and what have you. But this is the ceramic style, candle style 10-inch filter. And I've been looking at the statistics here, comparing it to the Berkey. It actually filters more chlorine than the Berkey does. They're about even overall when you really look at them, but the difference is obviously in price on the generic version here from Cheaper Than Dirt. When we look at the Berkey ceramic styles from Berkey, you're looking at $47.95 a piece for a 9-inch ceramic style filter, which does pretty good removing cryptosporidia and heavy metals and what have you. Chlorine too, 90%, but when I look back at the Cheaper Than Dirt generic brand, it's 95%, so it's a little better on the chlorine. If you get the black Berkey, it's much more expensive. We're going to $50 a piece. Well, a little bit more expensive than the other one, and it does filter more particles, but it's not that much. I mean, I don't, for the price wise, I am justified, I think, in going with the Cheaper Than Dirt. cheaperthandirt.com is the website. $21.97 for the ceramic style. I'll post up the part numbers and everything and give you a list of parts so you can put this together. Here's the Berkey PF2 fluoride and arsenic filter. What I learned last night is you want to take this thing and put it up to the sink and flush it through for 20 seconds and then install it, and you also prime it with water at the same time so it flows better. In any case, it works fine. The water tastes great, and it's fluoride free. What can I say? So this has been a very successful project, and I'll put a price list, but it looks like under $100 you can have your water filtration system. It's good for 1,000 gallons on the PF2 fluoride arsenic filters, and on the ceramic filters, those are cleanable as well, and you can brush them with a scrubber and reuse them. So basically, let's see, what does it say here? 100 times, cleanable 100 times. And you know when your flow begins to be impeded, when it's dripping less. Last night I could hear the steady rate of flow. So when you notice that begins to slow down, it's not dripping as fast, you get your brush out soft plastic brush or whatever, scrubby pad, and you scrub the outside down. It's impregnated with silver, so nothing's going to grow in there.